Hello, I'm David R. Lewis. Welcome to Theater of the Mind. In the past few decades, I have developed various thoughts on the mechanics of writing. For those of you who are writers, who want to write, or who just can't stop writing, here's some of my take on dialogue and dialect. Character dialogue and dialect can have a tremendous effect on the mental imagery of your writing projects. Sometimes the way and manner in which a character speaks is as important in the presentation as what he has to say. As in any other case where a character's voice is important, consistency is vital. Listening to an impressionist who loses contact with his impression is annoying. The same is true when reading a character. Review the dialogue frequently and make sure that your character's speech pattern remains solid. If the character loses credibility, so do you. Here are two examples from one of my books called Incidents Among the Savages. It takes place in the northern plains of America during the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. It is not the Old West. It is the new frontier, and not many white men were in that area at the time. The first character, Peter Long-Nosed Pete Alden, speaks in relatively intense dialect. The second, he who is called Four Lodges Are His, delivers his dialogue ostensibly in the English version of his native tongue. Injuns is like wolves, Skinner. They move across the land taking what they need and not messing with much else. They run in packs, boy, changing where they live with the seasons and the game. They is obligated to the Great Spirit in their bellies, son, and that there is the straight of it. By their own way of thinking, they ain't mean, nor cruel, nor superstitious neither. They just do what they gotta do to keep a-going. Don't judge 'em by a white man's standards. They is a whole nother kind of critter. A white man's too far from the earth to compare to a Injun, lessen he's a tame redskin that's had all the wild knocked out of him, and them poor devils is less than dogs. You can't never be no heathen, boy, no matter how hard you try. You aren't born to it. The best you can do is come to understand that even if you live smack in the middle of them for 100 years, you're still going to be white, and you still ain't going to understand everything they do. Injuns ain't got no long-term plan, boy. They ain't locked into nothing. The only thing important to an Injun is today and maybe tomorrow. When you think about that, son, it ain't no terrible way to live. White man, why? While it is true that even they are creatures of the Spirit which lives in all things, they do not know it. They burden themselves with possessions. They make too much of too little. They seek to own, and they are deaf to the voice of the turtle. Because they are not human, they are unaware of the order of life. Like a small child with a sharp knife, they marvel at their power, but they see not the danger they create. It is true that there must be a reason for them to exist, or the Spirit which lives in all things would not have it so. But I cannot comprehend it. It is admirable that one of them should seek to become a person. It is unusual that any of them would have the heart to attempt such a thing. There you have two widely divergent characters, each more efficiently described by the nature of their speech and given extra depth as individuals, both made more memorable by their dialogue or dialect. At least, that's how it seems to me. Incidents Among the Savages is available as an e-book or an e-audio book at most popular locations. I'm David R. Lewis. Thanks for visiting Theater of the Mind.